Riyan Parag has 261 runs at a strike rate of nearly 160, and Sanju Samson has 246 runs at nearly the same strike rate. So, do you think both these guys are in contention for the World Cup? I mean, we've seen one season wonders before, and I'm not suggesting that Riyan Parag is one, but Sanju has been consistent across seasons. What do you think?
I think both have made a very strong claim for being in the squad for the World Cup. Sanju Samson is amongst a bunch of about 5, 6 wicket keepers who are vying for one place or maybe two spaces. But remember, all these wicket-keeper batsmen, whether you talk of Rishabh Pant or Sanju Samson or Ishan Kishan, maybe even a KL Rahul or a Dhruv Jurel, these guys are also can be considered as specialist batsmen. So in that sense, if they score the Sanju Samson keeps scoring the way he has so far, he's certainly in the running for the place. But I think the most impressive of these younger lot has been Riyan Parag. He's not a wicket keeper, obviously, but he's had such a wonderful season so far. He's just looking a completely different batsman from what we've seen over the past 2, 3 years, 2, 3 seasons. He's more in control of himself, more maturity, more repertoire of strokes, more game understanding, and therefore he's becoming as perhaps amongst the biggest threats to opposing teams. And the consistency, as you mentioned, he's now I think he's the highest scorer for Rajasthan Royals so far this season. So
Yeah.
a couple of matches more. Remember, May 1, just as a reminder, May 1 is the
Yeah.
cutoff date for announcing the T20 World Cup squad. So I think he's got the attention of the selectors, that much I'm sure of.
Yeah. And also staying with the Rajasthan Royals, Yuzvendra Chahal now has the purple cap at 10 wickets at an economy rate of 7.3, which is the second best on the list of the top 10 wicket takers. And funnily enough, he's the only spinner on that list. Plus, he's the all-time highest wicket taker in IPL history. So definitely he has to be in that squad, right?
He is actually. He's also made a big comeback. The argument against him could be, and that's one of the reasons why he lost his place, is that he's a complete rookie with the bat. So more and more teams are looking for batsmen or bowlers who can contribute even 8, 10 runs if needed. If you can't do that, then obviously it's a bit of a handicap, or you have to then pick some other players who can, look at other players who can prop up such, you can't be an NPA, a non-performing asset. That's become clear in the white ball formats, both in T20 as well as in ODIs. And also in terms of the fielding, in the last match, remember he dropped the cash. I mean, Rajasthan went on to lose that match, which was played just yesterday. Why they lost is one of those maddening, insane things that happens in T20. Of the last ball, they lost to Gujarat Titans. But coming to Yuzvendra Chahal, you have to weigh the pros and the cons. See, a leg spinner is a terrific asset to have, a wrist spinner, and certainly somebody who's a genuine leg spinner. So I think the fact that he has been consistently picking up wickets, goes strongly in his favor. But at the end of the day, also, how many spinners will you include in the squad? I'm assuming that the squad will be 16 players, maybe a couple of standbys. So you can't have 7, 8 spinners right now. Like in the wicketkeeper's case, there are 7, 8 spinners vying for places in the squad, and 7, 8 fast bowlers apart from the batsmen. So it's going to be a real headache for Ajit Agarkar and his fellow selectors when they sit down
Yeah.
to examine the merits and otherwise of all the players.
Yeah. And like you were saying, that was a thriller of a match. And with that Gujarat Rajasthan match, we now have all teams having lost at least one match. And we also saw the return of the famous Chepauk spin choke. And my question is, like, all the players, all the teams know that these are the conditions there and the pitch at Chepauk behaves in a certain way. Having known all this for all these years, why is it still so hard to beat Chennai in Chennai?
I think it's a combination of things. One is the psychological factor don't discount. When people travel to Chennai, they are already mulling, brooding, apprehensive, tentative about what the pitch will be like, how they will cope with, and Chennai's renowned strength. There's the crowd support, which also, but that is true for all home matches. You come to Mumbai, there's majority support is for Mumbai, certainly for RCB in Bangalore and so on for the other team, for Sunrisers in Hyderabad. But I think that, you know, a certain amount of, or a great amount of what goes on with Chennai in Chennai, CSK in Chennai is almost esoteric, because you feel that even if you've gone there having won the previous 2 matches or 3 matches, you don't know what fate awaits you there. And the kind of pitch you'll get, and what the slow bowlers who play for Chennai are going to do for you or against you. But this time it's not just the slow bowlers, it's not just the spinners, it's also the pacemen who are cutting down on pace and then bringing in those variations who are also succeeding. So I think there's a bit of a mental block for teams that travel to Chennai. They have to overcome it, otherwise it's very difficult to beat Chennai in Chennai. And KKR,
Okay.
which was a team which is performing so well, all their mighty, hefty stroke players, the big shot hitters, they all were silenced. They all were like
Yeah.
cannons which just couldn't fire.
Yeah. And lastly, the past two games for the Punjab Kings have been nail biters. They've won one, they lost one, but they've sort of become this must-watch team this season, which hasn't been the case in many seasons in the past. So, what do you think about this excitement that they're now delivering, especially with the likes of Shashank Singh and Ashutosh Sharma?
Yeah, I think look, this is actually is a trait of the IPL that it throws up all kinds of complete unknown people in a sense. So while Shashank and Ashutosh may have been part of the circuit over a couple of years, never got to play enough or at all. And then they've suddenly come and they've shown such prowess in finishing the innings that now nobody will take them lightly. Punjab I mean, nobody can discount any team as of now. But even if they don't make it to the playoffs, they can spoil the party for some of the other teams
Yeah.
for the way they are playing these guys. And remember, they're doing it without the likes of Punjab, without the likes of
Yeah.
Livingston and Sam Curran
Yes.
really pulling their weight, or even Kagiso Rabada for that matter. So they've been, Punjab have become the the team to watch as a spectator,
Yeah.
but also the team to watch out for if you're an opponent. And I must
True.
add here before we kind of wind up, Anirudh, that Mumbai have come back into their own, so to speak.
Yeah.
They won a big match against Delhi Capitals. That was important to win. But what was important was not just the victory; it's all their key players coming good. From Rohit Sharma to Hardik Pandya to all the others. So and now they've got a couple of matches this week itself. They've got a
Yeah.
match as we speak the same evening. And then there's a big match coming up on Sunday. If they win these two matches, then I would say beware Mumbai, because Mumbai have shown in the past often enough that once they get into the rhythm, the momentum, then they can get unstoppable.
Yep. And as you were saying, that match is the match against RCB is tonight at the Wankhede, and big match feel because Kohli, Rohit, Pandya, all the superstars are out. So we'll keep bringing you the updates as and when the matches happen. So that's it for this episode of Sports Room. We'll see you next time.